in, you know?
Euro did an interview with Busy Bone recently, and he was talking about during the creation of East 99 that y'all just trashed a mansion somewhere. Like there was some mansion that just got completely destroyed.
I think we trashed everywhere we stayed in. I think we just stayed in every hotel from Hollywood to the Valley to just, and been kicked out of every last one. You know what I'm saying? It was hard for, Easy thought he thought he would save us by putting us in a house and not a hotel, so we'd be by ourselves. But that didn't work either. That didn't work either. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we went to a lot of places to stay. Like Houston, like, and man, I thought a lot of times I was like, oh man, this is it. He getting rid of us. This is it. But he wouldn't. Everybody else around was like, man, I get rid of them niggas for real. Like, but he would not let us go for real. He was like, nah, this is a fortune right here. They can tell whatever the hell they want to tell. They gonna end up paying for it anyway. So yeah, so it was cool.
East 99 Legends. Now this is the $1 Million album. It's the one that you were talking about in 2014.
Yep.
Hasn't been a lot of new movement in the media, in the press recently about that project. What's the status of that? Is that happening?
Yeah, man, because we want to, like just fall back on it, like and like just like rethink everything, you know what I'm saying, as far as that out. But we are gonna work on something, like, you know what I'm saying, to get the whole campaign for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination moving and all that, you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be in a big movement like that, you know what I'm saying. Like, so that's why I wanted to just slow it down, rethink everything, and make sure that it's dope.
Is everybody in the group still on board with that? Everybody was on board from the beginning.
Oh yeah,
that sounded like that.
Definitely.
That's I know Wu-Tang, I think they're coming up on actually selling it pretty soon. But there hasn't been a whole lot of movement on the status of that project yet. I love this innovation, right? I mean, we were just talking a second ago about how the industry's changed between your last project and now Chasing the Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, you talk about it all the time, about how artists have to be more creative in how they're distributing music, how they reach their fans and their audience.
Mm-hmm.
Are things slowing down? Are the structures of this industry coming into place? Right, you start seeing 5 different streaming companies where the cost or the return is about the same. Right, so you don't have that many different more interesting options. For example, you're starting to see labels adjust to where they're moving more like independent artists with some investment behind them. Is it still the Wild Wild West in your guys' opinion?
I wouldn't say it's the Wild Wild West. Basically, back in the days, you take a Rap-A-Lot or a Swab House, they'd be independent, they'd be moving 300, 400,000 units just in the South, and that's independent. And then a major would come in and make it bigger, branding-wise and finance-wise and radio-wise and so on and so forth. And you go to the Bay and you got E40 and Two Short still doing numbers. But now, fast forward all these years, the independent game is still going. You got a Dom Kennedy, you got a Currency, you got a Nipsey Hussle, still doing independently. But unfortunately, no one's selling the amount of records like they used to, especially for that price. And even to get a plaque these days is hard. So people are giving out music for free, and then they're doing live performances. This day and age, artists make money by doing live performances, merchandise, and publishing. I feel like the majors, so to speak, are dinosaurs, and they jump on the bandwagon after the fact, and only certain artists will go and do that type of deal. But the independent game is stronger than ever because of the power of the internet and social media.
I mean, you've experienced it as well, Krayzie. You have the radio show, the radio station, and a retail spot. I mean, are these passions or were these adjustments out of necessity just because music isn't selling the way it used to?
Man, I mean, they were both. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wanted to, have a clothing store. Like, we had a line thugwear back in the day. We always wanted to get into that, but we were just so. At the time, we were just like so much more artists. Like to where we was okay. Yeah, we're gonna do it, but we weren't really thinking about it. And then when we kind of like slowed down and just assessed everything, I was like, yo, it's smart to start getting into other things now. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's going to contribute. Like at some point, it's going to contribute, to my longevity. Whether it be a clothing store, whether it be like this thing I'm doing with vending machines now, you know what I'm saying, whether it be a dispensary or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's always good, man, to keep several options on the table, like, especially these days in music. I mean, even if music was still the same, you know, it's still always good to have something else to, you know, like put money into it for real.
Now here's a hard question. I know the answer. I know how I feel. But if you had to rank Bone Thugs albums from best to worst, the collaborative albums, what would that rank be?
Man, I would definitely say Eternal first. Eternal first. Art of War second. And the worst Bone album would be the Art of War 3. Art of War 3.
Where's Resurrection fall?
Resurrection comes in. I mean, I think Resurrection comes in before Strength and Loyalty. Just because, no. I mean, not Strength and Loyalty. Thug, I think Thug World Order would be next, number 3. Then Resurrection, and only Resurrection because it was still all 5 members on it, even though it wasn't as much, you know, like it was. But there's some classic songs on that album. And then Strength and Loyalty.
Where would you put People Don't Come Up? I know it's an EP, but where would you put that one?
Man, I would throw that in between somewhere probably before. I put it before Resurrection. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you think Art of War is stronger than People Don't Come Up People Don't Come Up?
Yeah. I mean, it's
more. I know.
Yeah. I'm thinking artistically. Because I think that's, you know, on that album is when we were like really adjusting, you know, like our pitches and tones, you know, like getting them like really understanding what we could and couldn't do like on the record, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's why.
Where's Bone Enterprises?
Oh man, Bone Enterprise. That's like I don't know. That shit gotta be like also. Like, that's got to be somewhere on his own, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like a totally different, I'm not going to say style, but like the production made the album sound like totally different than the other ones. Because it was all like, you know, just like hardcore shit, just like not so good production. But it was still cool though, you know, it served its purpose. People still love it today, so I mean, you know, it's cool.
It was definitely a demo tape.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was definitely a demo tape.
Yeah, I remember when Easy first saw it, so he was like, you know, because the tape was red. He was looking, he was like, man, what is this? He was like, man, it's our tape, man. He was just tripping up. He always talked about that shit, like always cracked jokes about it.
Never heard you guys make a song like less than 40 ounce since.
Man, I know, huh?
I don't think you guys come close to that. Steve, for you, if you had to rank Bone's albums.
I mean, honestly, I would say Faces of Death because it opened the door for them. It was their body of work to get the buzz, especially in their city, in the Midwest, which you have to create a buzz and have your own backyard. And then, you know, I would agree with Krayzie saying East 99 Eternal because, you know, that just went huge and it was classic. Just have all types of great records and, of course, you know, First of the Month single and Crossroads, which was done over once Easy passed away. I love Strength and Loyalty. There's some great records on there. Creeping to Come Up, you know, again, Douglas Ruggish came off that, and that really opened the doors because, you know, the Video Music Box was the one that really broke that record and took it to another level. People were like, whoa, what is this? Who is this? Wow. And then, you know, there's so many other records in between, but I like Art of War. You know, that had Doug Love. So many records. You know, I still say that the Doug Mentality album ranks up there because it was a classic. And there's so many different collabs, from Phil Collins collab to Mariah Breakdown to Riding Dirty, what Krayzie did, that people don't even understand how it's so huge. And we just found those producers just driving in Texas playing skills, and next thing you know, they won a Grammy with that song. To you know, Puffy calling me to do Bone and Biggie, to, you know, Busy running in Tupac and doing that song. So there's so many. And like I always say to you and everybody else, that I feel like Bone gets, doesn't get the props they deserve for all the classic music they made and being innovative with the style. And I put Krayzie Bone up against anybody. And could probably battle him because even on Body Rock, classic, he slows it down. He's telling me slow it down, like he could rap like a New York rapper, he could flow like an R&B singer. I always tell Krayzie to make an R&B album, and then he could just do the Midwest flow and so on and so forth. So, and the only group to collab Facts in the studio with Easy, Pop, Biggie, Pun. Flesh did a song with Pun, and Krayzie did a song with Pun, and then so on and so forth. So,
What do you think about the R&B album?
Oh man, people have been telling me that like for years. I'm thinking about doing something with this album I'm working on called Crazy Melodies. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's another something I'm working on too. So
Is it an R&B album or?
yeah. It's gonna be pretty much yeah.
So you're working on R&B album? Okay, after all these years.
He's raised on R&B music like the Temptations and Marvin Gaye. They were influenced that. If you ever hear Bone Thugs and Harmony, and they'll say that, and then they're influenced by Run DMC, LL Cool J, and EPMD, and so on and so forth. So they sing and rap. So why not? You ever hear Krayzie sing? Like he could sing.
I just think it's interesting that for all these years you're finally working on it.
Yeah,
That's dope. I'm with that. I want to hear that. I want to hear where that goes. Krayzie, how much was your first advance, and what did you spend the money on?
First advance was like it was like $80,000, I think. We all got $80,000 a piece, and I didn't even really understand like how much money it was until I actually went to the bank and put it in. I was sitting there, and the dude had me waiting for a long time because he thought I was just coming in. My grandmother took me to the bank to open up an account. And I guess he thought I was just going in with like a couple $100 to put in there. And when he saw how much it was, he was like, oh my God. He picked me up, took me to the back, offered me all kind of drinks. I'm like, man, damn, shit changed now, huh? I'm like, this shit's crazy. Yeah, man. So the first thing I bought was I got a place to stay. I got a house, and I bought 2 cars. I bought a Cadillac and a Lexus, and then I was cool. You know what I'm saying? I was just chilling. That's what I bought. That's when I first got a house and 2 cars.
Steve, what are you most surprised about Bone Thugs now versus when you first met him?
Calmed down a lot, more business savvy. Grew up. When I first met him, it was just wow, chaos. Alcohol, weed, craziness. Posse, entourage, and I still was able to deal with it. I remember we started doing the Mo Thug albums. There was about 40 people, and we had to go rent apartments at not Park La Brea, but in Burbank. And I would go shopping with them every day in Vons with the cart, and I would shop for them, and we'd go to the studio, I'd take them back and forth, and we'd do records. And they used to always have a lot of people. I remember going on a tour with 7 tour buses, and each guy had their own bus with their own friends. And I'm like, how do we get everybody together to make it to a show and stuff? But it was all respect, but they were young and wild, but they would listen to me, and I was out there, and that's why I created A to Z, because I would do a lot of stuff from them, from publicity to radio, to tour management, to A&R, to everything, because they would respect me, deal with me. So I just seen the growth, and becoming fathers, family members, husbands, and just growing, 23, 24 years together. So I watched them from 17 years old to now, and we just been through a lot. Me and Craig got stories of like when he bought a boat. Because Craig always like nice things, so he would have a boat. He'd live in Miami. He'd have nice cars, and he bought a boat. And we didn't know about low tide and high tide, and we didn't know like going from Fort Lauderdale to Miami would take a long time. Craig bought a boat, and we're riding the boat, and we hit low tide flying, and we went flying literally. We got stuck in the ocean. I'm like, man, what are we doing? Because I'm not jumping in and Craig like the water at that time. But we had someone with us who got us out of that, and I was like, wow, that was scary. Me and Craig went on the plane, and the plane went on fire. We were going to New York to do a breakdown, Mariah, and I had to wake Craig up and like get him up and like, pull him. And we had to get off the plane and go down that ramp. I was scared as hell. I'm thinking, damn, this plane gonna blow up, we're gonna die. But we've been through a lot, man. We got a lot of stories, and I see Craig some of his kids just grow up, you know, they're little kids on the road, and he's like, hold them on stage while he's performing. And me and Craig did van tours and plane tours and little minivan tours with ICP, with Insane Clown Posse. Like, let's get in the minivan and go. So, you know, we grinded, you know. We're here today, knock on wood, still alive and still making music.
Word up, got an album coming on Friday. Steve, you got a birthday coming up.
Yes.
What's the future hold? We talked R&B albums. We know there's 2 more editions of Chasing the Devil that are coming. What other surprises you guys play? You guys are on tour now?
Yeah, man, you know, we stay on the road, you know, and just, man, you know, whatever comes our way, man, you know, we up for any challenges, you know, especially if it's something fresh and new. I don't want to do everything just that everybody else is doing, you know what I'm saying? So I just sit back and wait for those opportunities to come, or we create them ourselves. So, I mean, that's what we will be doing, like, just trying to come with new innovative stuff as far as music and whatever else we get into.
And how realistic is the Bone Thugs and Harmony documentary, or the Bone Thugs and Harmony biopic? Excuse me.
Oh man, very. It's gonna take us a while to get it together. You know, like just getting all the key people in. You know, 'cause you gotta talk to a lot of people. You know, obviously you gotta get in. You know, gotta be in touch and in contact with Tamika Wright. You know, so make sure everything is good there. And just make sure we got the right situation on the table. Like, and make sure it's done right. You know, so we want it done just like